and any head-to-head matchups. The schools are compared to one another with each of those criteria points, and the seeding is determined like one big math problem. It's all based on the numbers and data. In the event of a tie among those criteria points, head-to-head will be used to break the tie. If there's no head-to-head competition, or the head-to-head competition is tied, then Max Prep's strength of schedule will be used to break the tie. There is no input given by NMAA staff. Let me repeat that so everyone hears it. No input by NMAA staff. It's all data driven based on those criteria points. Did you have a better record? Were you ranked higher? Did you play head-to-head? All of those things, not just one criteria point, all of them. There is no bias for or against any school or team. Now that you understand how it's done, let's get to it. You clicked on this show to see the brackets, right? Let's start in six-man football. The top team heading into the 2024 postseason is the Logan Longhorns. Logan is led by head coach Dwayne Roberts. They have 8 seniors on the squad. They made the move from 8-man to 6-man football. Logan hasn't reached the state finals since 2014. They've never won a state football title, and hoping this year is their first.
Being that I am a Longhorn alumni, it would mean a lot to me just to be a part of it and get the opportunity to coach this group of young men. And you know, that is something that we've all talked about. And there's nothing more than these guys would love to bring the first championship ever to Logan. And so, you know, that's on our mind, but we're trying to stay focused.
Here's a look at the 6-man bracket. Top seed Logan will open with New Mexico School for the Deaf. This is actually a rematch of last week's game. Elida is the 4 seed and will take on last year's state champ Roy Mascaro. Mountaineer earned the 3 seed and will host Dora, the 6. And Grady earned the number 2 spot and will host Magdalena. Grady is 8-1 on the year. Their only loss is to top seed Logan. Moving on to 8-man football, the number 1 seed this year goes to Melrose High School. The Buffaloes earned the top spot with their undefeated regular season record. They are led by head coach Drew Hatley. Melrose is a fixture in the football final with 6 state championships since 2014. They come into this postseason as the defending state champs with 9 seniors on the roster.
The first shout out I'd like to give is Cy Draper. Cy Draper's our center on offense and plays defensive line for us. He's a 4-year starter here at Melrose. He is a Buffalo through and through. And, you know, he kind of makes us go. I'd like to give him a lot of credit because without him making the change to center last year, we may not have had the success we've had. We're led by quarterback Josiah Roybal. Josiah Roybal's got over 30 touchdowns on the season, 1,600 yards passing, another 400 yards rushing. In my opinion, Josiah Roybal is the best football player in 1A.
The top 4 seeds get a bye, and here are the 4. Melrose is the 1, followed by Fort Sumner House, the 2. Mesilla Valley Christian is the 3, and Gateway Christian is the 4. Gateway Christian has been in a final each of the last 3 years. Here's a look at the 8-man football bracket. Voila! Mescalero Apache is the 8 and will face Lordsburg, the 9. Clayton Des Moines is your 5 and will take on Cuesta. Tatum is the 6 and will face Dulce, the 11. Manal is the 7 seed and will host Escalante, the 10, in the opening round. Now, little explanation here. Dulce was tied in criteria points with Tatum and Mescalero and Lordsburg, but they lost in that strength of schedule tiebreaker that we discussed. Gateway Christian and Clayton were also tied in criteria points, but Gateway had the better strength of schedule, so they are the 4 and Clayton is the 5. And Tatum and Manal also tied in criteria, but Tatum had the better strength of schedule, which, as we mentioned, is the tiebreaker when teams are tied in criteria points. So Tatum is 6 and Manal 7. There is your 8-man football bracket. Don't forget, you can watch the state championship games this fall on the NFHS network. So get a subscription and log on so you can watch the championship matchups. That's going to do it for the 2024 New Center Credit Union State Football Championship Seating and Selection Show for 6-man and 8-man football. Good luck to all the teams involved, and remember to compete with class.
saved $700 with Liberty Mutual. Crazy what you can get with those savings.
Welcome to the Seeding and Selection Show for the 2024 NMAA State Soccer Championships. On this show, we will release the brackets for all classes and then let the games begin. Big shout out to the Ruidoso girls soccer team, who I know they're watching this show. The Sandia Prep girls are enjoying some Mexican food, I'm sure. Save me some, by the way. Oak Grove is out there watching. Hope Christian, welcome to the party. But before we get to the brackets, we always like to remind everyone how the seeding and selection process works. The seeding process is not the NMAA just sitting in a room randomly deciding who should be the 1 seed, the 2 seed, etc., etc. It is not that. What it is a process that is all data driven. The following criteria is used to determine a team's seed. We look at finish in regular season district play, max preps rankings, overall record, wins against district champs regardless of class, member school input, that's the coach's input and their rankings, and any head-to-head matchups. The schools are compared to one another with each of those criteria points, and the seeding is determined like one big math problem. It's all based on the numbers and data. In the event of a tie among those criteria points, head-to-head will be used to break the tie. If there's no head-to-head competition or the head-to-head competition is tied, then max prep's strength of schedule will be used to break the tie. There is no input given by NMAA staff. I'm going to repeat that even though I'm sure you all know this. No input by NMAA staff. It's all data driven based on those criteria points. Did you beat a district champ? Did you have a higher record or better record? Were you ranked higher? All of those things. There is no bias for or against any school or team. Now that you understand how it's done, let's get to it. You clicked on the show to see the brackets, right? I know. Well, ladies first. Let's start with girls, Class A through 3A. The top seed heading into this bracket is a team that's been number 1 before, Sandia Prep. The Sun Devils have won each of the last 3 state titles and 12 state championships as a program. Their only losses this season are to La Cueva, Volcano Vista, and Albuquerque Academy twice, all powerhouses. Sandia Prep has won 12 in a row. They have 8 seniors on the squad. The way they prepare for state is a grueling training scenario.
Any player that's been a part of my program knows that the week leading up to state is literally like fitness crunch time, preseason camp. It really is. It's putting ourselves through the fitness, through the grueling, defensive work, the tactical, approaches that could potentially happening in these, one and done scenarios. That really puts us in the right mindset to be facing any opponent that we'll be having.
Here's a look at the bracket. Sandia Prep will take on St. Michael's, the 8 seed. Santa Fe Prep is the 5 and will travel to Albuquerque to face Bosque, the 4. Cottonwood Classical is the 3 seed and will host ATC, the 6. East Mountain is your 7 and will travel to Ruidoso, who earned the number 2 seed. Now, Ruidoso and Cottonwood Classical were tied when comparing them head-to-head in the criteria points, but Ruidoso beat Cottonwood Classical, and so Ruidoso is the 2 seed and Cottonwood the 3. There is your first bracket of the show. Moving on to Class 4A. Much like Class A through 3A, we have another repeat champ on top heading into the 2024 postseason. Hope Christian earned the number 1 seed. Hope is the 3-time defending state champ, going for 4 in a row. Hope is undefeated and on a 34-match unbeaten streak dating back to last season. One more, and they would break their own record set last year.
I've never had a team that has dug and worked as hard as these girls have. I mean, I would put them up almost against any track team at this point with their fitness level and what they've done. So work rate and then the love they have for each other. We've got kids. I was joking yesterday with one of our senior captain, Dylan. I asked her, she did so many fitness workouts and she's always hated fitness. She's hated it. And I said, Dill, do you like fitness? Is there something that I knew to learn about you? She goes, no. And I said, well, why do you do it? She said, because I love these girls. So I think that really just embodies our team, that they love showing up every day. And sure, we have bad days like everyone and days where there's, a little bit of cattiness, but really more often than not, the girls love each other and they love what they're doing. And I think that you just can't replicate that, right? You just can't. It is what it is. And I'm grateful and so fortunate to be a part of it.
The top 4 teams in this bracket receive a bye, and here they are. Hope Christian, the 1, Albuquerque Academy, last year's state runner-up, is the 2, Los Alamos, the 3, and Artesia, the 4. Congratulations to all of them. All 4 of these teams will wait to see who they will face in the quarterfinals. Now, let's take a look at the bracket. Santa Teresa is in the field as an 8 seed. They will take on Bloomfield, the 9. St. Pius is your 5 and will host Aztec, the 12. Goddard is the 6 seed and Miamur, the 11. Moriarty is the 7 seed and will meet up with Berlin, the 10. The winner of that will take on Albuquerque Academy. There is your girls 4A bracket. On to girls class 5A. The number 1 seed this year goes to the team with more state titles than any other girls program, the La Cueva Bears. La Cueva has 16 overall state titles as a program. The Bears last won it all in 2017. The Bears are 16-3-1 overall this season. They've been lighting it up lately. They've won 9 of their last 10, and during that stretch, outscored the competition 68-3. The top 4 receive a first-round bye, and they are La Cueva, Las Cruces, El Dorado, and Volcano Vista. Las Cruces is 17-2 overall. El Dorado split with La Cueva this year, and the Hawks have 7 shutouts in their last 9 matches. Their coach says this team is adversity.
I mean, at the beginning of the season, I think just adversity of just like losing a couple of games back to back to back, which is like, that's just soccer. And then this past week, man, has been more than soccer. And so when you take a step back and
Welcome to another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Visit Rio Rancho. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we're at Volcano Vista High School, home of the Hawks and their girls soccer team, and head coach Ashley Nieder. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Let's dive right in. The state seeding and selection show was recently announced. Volcano Vista, a 4 seed. What did you think about the seed? Was it what you expected?
Yeah, I think it was what we expected, a 3 or a 4. So we're excited for that, and yeah, no shock here, I guess.
And you get a first-round bye. As a coach, do you like the bye, or would you like to kind of keep the season moving?
I think we're excited for the bye.